If you've ever identified yourself as empathic or energetically sensitive, this video is for you. Say you're walking through a grocery store, you can feel the fluorescent lights, you can feel the Wi-Fi, you can feel other people's vibrations, or you get overwhelmed by the modern day world of all the sensory stimulation. And this is in fact a gift as you learn to ground yourself. You can transmute from overwhelm to a sense of security and peace, where you're more able to tune into what you want. And by tuning into the vibration that you're wanting to embody and live within is actually the answer, is actually the medicine for empathic people. Now, we all are that on some level, but if you're going through an awakening, if you're awake to the fact that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and you're aware that everything is made of vibration, as you understand the law of attraction, you understand that what you put your focus on grows, and that you are like an instrument of consciousness. So as you're able to fine-tune your vibration, you'll tune out the overwhelm. But you don't tune out the overwhelm by trying to tune out the overwhelm. You tune it out by tuning in to a sense of stability and security within your body and within your own perspective, perception, your own point of view, your own embodiment, your own focus. So in this video, we're diving into root chakra medicine for empaths, grounding practices. You see, because as you're awakening, as your consciousness, you're going up into this higher consciousness states, you could say altered states, or simply you're in a more expanded place where you're more in the ether. You're feeling tapped into source, but maybe you're getting ungrounded. By centering more within your body, by being more in your body, and bringing in daily practices such as meditation, self-reflection, walking barefoot on the earth. What this is going to do is this is going to anchor you more into the present moment. Because when the chaos is going on in life, you want to be at the center of the storm. Think of a hurricane, right? There's chaos, and that chaos is transformation. That chaos is a power of change. But in the center of that hurricane, and it can be destructive too, but in the center of that hurricane is a still point. In the center of a hurricane, there's a still point where there's no movement. So when the chaos is going on around you, understand this too shall pass. And that there are three forces of creation. There is creation, there is the birth of new life. There is the sustaining force, the balancing force of equilibrium, and there is the destructive force, the chaos force. But the chaos force creates space for life to be created again. And in Hindu mythology, the creation force is Krishna, the sustaining force is Vishnu, and the destructive force is Shiva. And it's said that the eye of Shiva is a penetrating awareness. Shiva also means awareness. That in a way is destructive. It's this clearing away of the old. So as you're in the center of that storm, understand that the chaos that's happening around you is clearing away the old energy so that the new energy can come in. But if you're out swirling in the world of conditions, watching the news, if you're talking to other people in a disempowering way, or you're getting sucked into the gossip at work. What's that doing? It's pulling you into the world of the 3D. It's pulling you into the world of conditions. When you're in the center of the storm, you're able to observe the power, the force of creation, the force of equilibrium, balance, and sustaining, and the force of destruction all working together. And you're in a state of flow of not so much reacting to it. And you do that by centering within yourself. And I noticed this even when I was starting to go through my awakening back at the end of 2012 into 13, and like started meditating and more consistently in like 2014, is that I was becoming very sensitive to energy and vibration and other people's energy and what state they were in. And that when I would get absorbed in being overly concerned about other people's state, it would make the problem worse. And I would take on that energy. Because it's like, if you think of sympathy, there's this thing called in music, it's called sympathetic resonance. And sympathetic resonance is when, take a guitar for example. The guitar is not being held by anyone. Say someone's playing a violin that resonates with the tuning of that guitar nearby. If you were to listen to that guitar, the strings are resonating. You can hear it resonating with the sound without anyone playing with it. It's called sympathetic resonance. So when you overly sympathize with other people, with the news, whatever kind of news it is, because there's always news, that's why it's called news, you know? And what kind of vibration are you tuning into is gonna be what kind of news you're attracting, because there's news right now that this terrible thing just happened anywhere in the world. There's news going on right now that someone just had an awakening and oh my God, the bliss of the sun, a miracle happened, someone just cured their cancer. That news is going on right now. What do you want to tune into? Because if you sympathize your resonance with people in a way that you're taking on their energy, it'll take you out of your body, and it'll take your frame of reality, your own frame of reference and perspective, your own truth. And what that does, it'll take you out of center, and then you'll start attracting and taking on the energies that are associated with what you're focusing on. And this makes you ungrounded, because then you're not centered in the storm. Now you're swirling with everyone else's opinions and beliefs of lack and limitation, and even overly being concerned about what other people think about you causes that to happen. Because what you're doing is you're tuning into other people's limited human mindset instead of into source. And this was powerful for me to realize, because I realized that I could tune myself into source, and that was actually the best and highest service. Because then I'm showing up in the vibration that I want to embody, and I'm more in that positive mindset, while integrating and working through the shadows that are coming up, taking responsibility for my reactions to life and other people. Causes them to not have power over me. Because when we get overly absorbed in our opinions about other people or what other people think of us, we get absorbed back into that old energy. And it's dissatisfying, it keeps you stagnant, and it keeps you feeling stuck, or like you're not fully present. So presencing in the moment, presencing and feeling your body, scanning your body from head to toe, something called somatic meditation. I'm sure there's plenty of videos, and if you want I could make one, but on YouTube. And what this does is it puts you into the witness awareness. Because then when you're in the witness awareness, you're realizing that everything is just sensation. But you're not judging the sensation. And what this does is it naturally allows things to process because you're feeling through things. Feeling is the healing. And then also like grounding into your hands, your feet down into the center of the earth, connecting up into the sky. Doing practices that circulate your energy, breath work or breathing practices, and even meditation of tuning into source is going to put you into that vibration. And then that's what I realized with starting like a routine or like a ritual or just a way of life of doing that in the morning and before I go to sleep pre-paves my day because it creates a momentum. That's why it's being a practitioner of it. And then when you're in that momentum, it starts to build the more consistent you are. This includes with creating. It'll put you into that inspired state. It will connect you into source beyond conditions. You want to go beyond the conditioned mind because when you're reacting to others, it's putting you into the world of condition. What they used to call the race mind or the world mind. In older teachings, is this world of conditions and world of limiting beliefs that humans hold that are not necessarily true in and of themselves. They have no meaning other than what we give to them. So in the last video, I talked about not giving your power away to beliefs or trying so hard to change them because they're just beliefs. When you step into that other perspective, you're like, oh wait, I can install a belief that I am centered, I am grounded, I am confident. See, when I was working with people who are energetically attuned or sensitive and becoming attuned, because when you're attuned, that's when you realize how to tune. And then it becomes like your superpower rather than something you cannot control. And it takes some practice and training to hone your intuition and navigate your awakening. But years ago, when I first started working one-on-one with people, what happened is that I would mirror with them and I would become aware of the energies that were coming up. And for example, I would ask, do you have an energy coming up your solar plexus? And they'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, what's that? What do you have? What do you feel around that? And they're like, okay, I'm feeling a lack of confidence or a lack of clarity. And then I would ask them like, what belief do you, like, what stories do you have around that? And it usually had to do with not feeling supported by other people not seeing their value, feeling like failures from the past or not feeling sure of themselves. And I would ask them, well, where did that first start? And it would be something earlier in life or in childhood. And they would kind of uproot it and be like, okay, well, what is this belief necessarily true? And they'd be like, no. And it's like, how does it make you feel? They wouldn't like the feeling. And I'd be like, would you like to clear this? Are you ready to let this go? And then they would be like, yes. If they would be yes, then I would go through a clearing with them, process of clearing the energy. And then what would happen is it's almost like a type of soul reclamation or reclaiming aspects of yourself. I lead them through a forgiveness practice, or sometimes called ho'oponopono. And so I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. But bringing it to the energy at the cause, at the source within themselves. And then clearing the attachments, or what people sometimes call cords, to get into a place where their connections are clear with other people. And what would happen is that they would, after these shifts, sometimes they would actually have changes in those relationships, or the relationships that were not ready to evolve would leave their life. And I had the same thing happening to me as I was growing and evolving. And then they would feel like this shift and feel more confident. So I was like, oh, that's bringing awareness to the energy centers. And it was happening, they were claiming the energy by bringing it back into the body. That's why it's called embodiment. Meaning bringing it into the limbs of your body. And when that would happen, they would feel more clarity, and they would also get more downloads on their life purpose through that reflection. And this was profound because also this is where these practices of meditation and grounding into the earth and working with your energy. And I realized that as I went through these own things is that there's an electromagnetic field to the earth, that when you go connect with the land, when you walk barefoot, open up to the sun, feel the appreciation, go for a hike, whatever it is, that I would become more like incarnated or solid in my body while still feeling open and expansion. So I call that grounded expansion. So it's like you're still tuned in, but you're tuning into where the 5D meets the 3D, or heaven on earth. You're being a conduit, like you're here, you're solid, you're present, but you're practicing mindfulness and awareness in the present moment in your life. And you're becoming aware of what energies are coming in, and if there's an energy that you're feeling in the collective, or if there's an energy that you're feeling when you're walking through a place, understanding that you can also do something that's called shielding. And this is where you imagine a golden bubble around you. You send your grounding cord down to the earth, up into the sky, and into your heart. And you can even just like, sometimes I snap or I tap my body, and I'm like, I'm here now. And it puts me like I'm aware of the energy, but I'm in my physical body at the same time. And I believe that this is the solution for people that are feeling like the glove doesn't quite fit right. So try out a couple of these practices and come back and let me know how it helped you. Because it's all very simple and it's a good reminder. So thanks for tuning in, guys, on this channel. And if you haven't already liked it, maybe share it with a friend. And subscribe if you'd like to stay tuned into alignment. Hit that bell for regular video notifications. And I also want to share with you guys that I have a few slots open to apply for one-on-one coaching. If you're accepted as a good match, meaning that you just check out the video that explains what it's about and basically answer a few questions. Basically, if you're on your awakening journey, you're wanting to dial more into consistency and these kinds of practices, becoming and being a conscious creator in your life, in reality creation, and your creative energy, being able to channel and focus into your vision and your life purpose, then this is for you. And if so, we'll accept it. We mostly do the form just to make sure that people are like actually serious about it. And yeah, so I invite you to hit the link. It's the first link below if you'd like to apply. The first coaching call is free. And if we're both in alignment, we can explore what it looks like to work together. So thank you guys once again, and enjoy the journey. Peace and many blessings.